keeping the heartbeat of the city healthy with health tips and benefits from real doctors in the area. This is Health Help. Brought to you by the Sullivan County Public Health Department.
With the advent of summertime come the bugs, and the two big bugs we worry about, particularly in our area, are ticks and mosquitoes. Mosquitoes, let's talk about those first. Mosquitoes have been around for ages. They carry a number of diseases and some of them can be very serious. That includes dengue fever and malaria. The Deep South used to be endemic for malaria before we did a lot of mosquito control measures. Now most of our malaria is transported in. But one of the new ones that you've heard about over the last few years is West Nile virus. And West Nile virus is a virus that attacks the central nervous system, causes an encephalitis, and is caused by direct mosquito exposure. The Public Health Department does monitor bird populations to see when this virus is circulating within mosquito pools and within bird pools. The best thing, though, however, is prevention. And with prevention, that includes use of long sleeve shirts, long pants, avoiding morning and evening when most of these mosquitoes like to bite, removing mosquito pools to prevent their growth. And one of the newer mosquito diseases you may be hearing about in the year is called chikungunya. It's a very interesting virus. It's now circulating widely in the Caribbean. And what happens is the mosquito bites a person sick with chikungunya, gets the virus, then bites another person and gives them chikungunya. Chikungunya is a self-limited illness, rarely fatal, but gives you the headache and the body aches that you just feel like all your bones are broken. It's just really a severe muscle ache illness. Now, very, very few people die from it, but our population is completely susceptible. So when we have foreign travelers that go to the Caribbean, they get infected, they just happen to come home, they become ill with chikungunya from where they became infected in, say, the Caribbean. We have to be careful that we protect that person infected with chikungunya from getting exposed to our mosquito pools, and therein lies the biggest risk. So we tend to isolate those people, make sure they're in mosquito protected areas that they can't get bitten, because we don't want to get it circulating in our mosquito pools, and thus the entire population becomes eligible. Good thing is it doesn't kill you, but it sure makes you wish you were dead. So it's a rough illness. Of course, we still see our age-old encephalitides, St. Louis encephalitis, Eastern equine, Western equine encephalitis. And we do monitors for those types of diseases. Usually it prevents with fever, headache, severe nausea, and mental status changes. And with that, you usually diagnose it with a spinal tap, and we do the special testing to figure out, well, is this? All these we do not have an antibiotic for other than malaria. Well, they are all tend to be self-limited, but dengue can be very serious, and we have seen a few cases of dengue fever that's transported in from other countries. And of course, our biggest nemesis in our Appalachian Mountains is, of course, tick-borne disease. And tick-borne disease, there's about 12 different diseases that ticks can transmit, but we're only going to talk about 2 of those diseases today. The most common being Rocky Mountain spotted fever in our area. Now, in the Northeast and Midwest, we see high rates of Lyme disease that's transmitted by the Texas deer tick. In our area, the dog tick is the predominant vector, and as a result, we need to watch getting exposed to those ticks out in the field. Prevention measures are just the same. One, wearing DEET, which is like a mosquito bug repellent, long pants, long sleeve shirt if you're going to be out, checking yourself regularly. It takes a few hours for the tick to transmit the agent into your bloodstream. So you don't get bit by a tick and then you get sick right away. It takes a few hours for it to be transmitted, and then there's an incubation period time. Certainly in our area, if you present with fever, severe headache, and with a rash, particularly involving the palms and soles, better think Rocky Mountain spotted fever in our area. And we do see high rates in a number of areas. Certainly prevention of exposure in the deep woods, etc., hiking, camping, fishing, all that, certainly expose you to the ticks that may be out. Wearing DEET impregnated clothing is helpful. Long pants, long socks, and all. And then checking your clothes daily to be sure that you've not got ticks that have actually had a chance to bite you. Incubation period can be anywhere from 7 to 14 days. And if you present with fever, severe headache, palmar rash, and rash on your feet, then certainly you need to be seeing your doctor to get some type of treatment. That history of tick bite is so important, so remember that. The other thing about Rocky Mountain spotted fever that makes it special is it needs to be treated with an antibiotic that's not our usual antibiotic. We like to use penicillin-based antibiotics and cephalosporins, and it will not touch the disease. Mortality can be high if untreated and unrecognized. So we need to use a drug called doxycycline. So it's important that you treat, and we treat children, everybody now, with doxycycline. Doesn't matter your age group, whatever. Doxycycline is the drug of choice for Rocky Mountain spotted fever. In Tennessee, we have very, very few cases of true Lyme disease. We do see Lyme disease that is imported, where they went up in the Northeast or Midwest, been bitten by the deer tick there, and as a result brought it back. But as far as Lyme disease circulation in our community, it's actually very small. Lyme disease starts out with a tick bite that then rapidly develops within 24 hours or so into a bullseye lesion, and then can either progress or disappear. There are basically 3 different stages of Lyme disease. The first is the local reaction. That's where we like to see it and treat it if we possibly can recognize it. The second stage is more quiescent, but can cause a number of different symptoms, musculoskeletal arthritis, and then you have tertiary Lyme disease that can cause mental problems and or neurologic problems and arthritic problems. Lyme disease is a relatively difficult diagnosis to make, and there is a decision tree and algorithm we as physicians are supposed to follow. It is treatable, usually with antibiotics, and most people make a full recovery. There's been a lot of misinformation, however, that's been propagated about Lyme disease and causing lots and lots of other things. But there are specific modalities and testing that we now do to actually confirm it and make sure that that truly is the disease that is affecting you. We've got a number of woes of summer. I haven't really counted them all, but certainly we want to worry about our ticks, mosquitoes, bug exposure. We have to worry about foodborne illness and taking care of our food to be sure that we keep it safe. We want to be safe in the water. We want to be good to our skin, protect it from the sun. A little bit of sun is good, but a whole lot's real bad, causes a lot of pain and increases your risk for cancer. And certainly we have to worry about heat-related injuries such as dehydration, heat exhaustion, and heat stroke.